So let's break this down. How did a simple packet of spicy noodles become this massive global phenomenon? We're not just talking about food here. We're talking about a high-stakes game of pain, prestige, and what we're gonna call aura points. You know that sound? That is the sound of pure hesitation. It's someone about to play the game for the very first time. A game of spice that started as a desperate Hail Mary for a failing company, but would go on to save it and, well, pretty much conquer the world. All right, so where does this all start? Well, not with a bang, but with a full-blown crisis. Back in the early 2010s, the Korean ramen giant Samyang Foods was on the ropes, and they needed nothing short of a miracle. Yeah, things were looking pretty bleak for Samyang. They were losing market share fast. Their old classics just weren't cutting it anymore, and every new product they tried was basically a flop. They needed something, anything, to turn the tide. And then inspiration hit. And it came from a pretty unexpected place. The company's vice chair was walking through Seoul and saw this ridiculously long line for a restaurant. And what were they all waiting for? Insanely, painfully spicy chicken, Buldak. A light bulb went off. What if they could capture that experience and put it in a ramen packet? And this is absolutely key. Samyang didn't just release another product, they released a challenge. This wasn't just, hey, here's a new flavor. No, this was them dropping a patch on the entire industry, like a final boss battle that would change the rules of the game forever. Okay, so this is where things just go stratospheric. A local hit is about to go global, and it's all thanks to this massive marketing campaign that, get this, cost Samyang basically nothing. And just like that, it stopped being about the noodles. It was all about the performance, right? It was about endurance. It was about earning those bragging rights online. Could you handle the heat? The whole world was about to find out. I mean, listen to that. It really did become this rite of passage, a kind of global gameplay. It wasn't just lunch anymore. It was a cultural test, a new kind of status symbol. The question became, have you done the challenge? And you've seen the videos, right? Millions of them. And they all follow the same script. The sweating, the tears, the desperate grab for milk, the shaking hands, and then that weirdly triumphant smile at the end. It was this universal language of suffering and victory. Now this is where it gets really clever. Samyang didn't just sit back and watch all this happen. Oh no, they leaned right into it. They basically turned pain into a game mechanic, complete with its own unwritten rules and, yeah, a scoring system for your personal aura. Just look at this chart. It's basically the game's difficulty settings. The original Buldak, already spicier than a lot of jalapenos. But then they dropped the 2x nuclear version and then a 3x. It's like they just kept adding harder levels for the pros to conquer. And this is where the culture just explodes around it with this unwritten bro code. Did you finish the whole bowl without even flinching? Boom, plus 1,000,000 aura points. But did you cave and grab the milk before you were done? Oof, that's a major weakness. Minus 500,000 aura points, easy. Your strength was literally measured by how much pain you could endure. And here's the kicker, the part that's pure genius. The addictive quality, that's not a bug, it's a feature. Your brain literally senses the pain and fights back by releasing feel-good stuff like endorphins and dopamine. It's a high. It's the core game mechanic that makes you want to play again and again. All right, level 4. Just when you thought you had the game figured out, Samyang pulls a genius move. They release an expansion pack. In this Carbo version, an absolute masterstroke. It was creamy, cheesy, and way less spicy. It was the perfect entry point for players who are, a little scared of that final boss. And in Korea, man, it blew up. It was the next honey butter chip craze. And the results? I mean, just look at this chart. It speaks for itself. The Carbo launch sent Samyang's profits into another galaxy. This was their second heyday, and it proved the Buldak brand could be more than just pure, unadulterated pain. So what's the end game here? All of this whole perfectly played out strategy, it didn't just create a hit product. It built a global empire, all on a foundation of spice. Check this number out. 1.2 trillion won. That's what the Buldak series pulled in just in its first 8 years. We're talking over $1 billion US. The scale is it's insane. And if you want to see the final victory screen, here it is. In May 2024, Samyang Foods, the company that was on the brink, officially became more valuable than its biggest rival, the legendary makers of Shin Ramyun. The underdog had officially won the game. So what's next? They're not slowing down, they're doubling down. They are building a brand new, massive factory for one purpose and one purpose only: to feed a world that is absolutely addicted to the challenge. So you go from a simple noodle born out of a crisis to a global game of aura points. The story of Buldak just proves that sometimes the toughest challenges, the most painful ones, give you the biggest rewards. So the only question left is, what level are they going to unlock next?
Buldak! 500,000 aura, say goodbye! Stay hungry, stay legendary! Buldak!